In this video, we're taking a look at Go Collect's hottest comics for the week of August 19th. We got more Bronze Age love this week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle Haas. And in this video, we're taking a look at Go Collect's hottest comics for the week of August 19th. Now, for those who don't know, Go Collect puts out a weekly article that analyzes the hottest selling comic books based on movement and eBay sales data. And like I like to do on Mondays, let's take a look at the list and see what's trending in the market. But before I get into the books, if you guys could drop me a like or comment or subscribe if you're enjoying the content, help support the channel, do one of those things, and I would appreciate it. And of course, I will put a link in the description. These articles are always written by Matt Tuck, a great contributor to Go Collect, so definitely go check him out. But let's hop right into it and talk about the 5 books. And we got to talk about, the number 5 book, which of course I like to start at the bottom with these things. So we'll work our way up. And the number 5 book is actually going to be Spider-Woman #1, up 978 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is a book written by Marv Wolfman and drawn by Joe Sinnott in 1978. This would be the first solo ongoing series for the Spider-Woman character, Jessica Drew. There you see first spectacular issue right there on the cover. And this book, even though it's not her first appearance, which of course is Marvel Spotlight 32, this would actually be her origin story and also the first kind of new version of the Spider-Woman character, like a new look. We'd see her like her hair coming out of the costume, and this would sort of be the iconic costume that we would equate to the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman character. And this is a really cool book. I mean, a lot of people have been chasing that Marvel Spotlight 32 book overall because, of course, that's her first appearance. A lot of people speculating that we're going to get Spider-Woman in some kind of way. And Spider-Woman #1 has actually kind of become, sort of the second most desired book for the Spider-Woman character in the market, more so than her second appearance, more so than even her third appearance, because, this right here is actually her 4th or 5th appearance, I believe it is. But I understand why people want to move to a book like this because, it is a #1 issue. It's got Spider-Woman right there in the title. And this is all obviously the sort of iconic look of the character. And this one has definitely been heating up, much like this Marvel Spotlight 32, simply because of all the rumors. Again, we have Issa Rae, who's going to play the voice of Jessica Drew in the next Spider-Man Miles Morales movie later on that comes out next year, Into the Spider-Verse 2. We also have rumors that Olivia Wilde is working on a project with Sony in the Spider-Verse. A lot of people speculating that it could be Spider-Woman, although, a lot of the rumors also lead to Silk as well. So it's still kind of in question whether we're going to get Spider-Woman in the MCU or perhaps in the Sonyverse anytime soon. But still, a lot of people specking on this character, and for good reason. She's a very, very cool character, and I think we definitely need Jessica Drew on the silver screen in the near future. And as we dig into the numbers here, we'll see that there are 9.8s selling around the $450 range or so. Last sale here back in, or actually this month in August of 2021. And then down here at the bottom, this is a 1978 book, so you're not going to see it slab. But typically when I go onto eBay and, browse at this book, you could typically find this book around the $50, $60, $70 range or so. All right, let's go on now to the next book here. And the next book is actually a very cool one as well. This is Amazing Spider-Man #113, up 981 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is actually the first appearance of a character known as Hammerhead. Hammerhead, for those who don't know, is one of the much lesser known Spider-Man villains that he's gone against in his historic villain career. Hammerhead's kind of like a cross between Rhino and Tombstone, basically. If you took those two characters together and you kind of put them in a Dick Tracy world, you would get Hammerhead. And this book right here, written by Gary Conway and drawn by John Romita Sr., came out in 1972, and this would be the first appearance of the character known as Hammerhead. And kind of like the, Jessica Drew Spider-Woman rumors, there's still a lot of rumors of like, what is that world going to be? If we see a Jessica Drew Spider-Woman and we bring in, say a Silver Sable, or we bring in a Black Cat, and Sony starts to build out the Spider universe, what other characters within that universe are they going to have their hands on? So I think for that reason, a lot of people, kind of speculating on characters like Hammerhead. Like here's a great, punching bag villain that belongs to the Sonyverse that we could bring in to these universes, and maybe I should go get this book. Additionally to that, this is, a classic sort of Bronze Age Spider-Man run. A lot of people love collecting Spider-Man, 1 through 200, I'd say, is a lot of people's grail runs, or maybe even I push it out to 300, but the 200 300 range, a lot of great Bronze Age books here. So a lot of people love this book. And, Hammerhead, a very interesting character. I definitely have a fondness to him because he is, of course, a B tier villain. So I like my B tier villain. So, cool character for that reason. And as we dig into the numbers here, we'll see that there are 9.8s selling fair market value around the $1,500 range. Last sale was back in March of 2021. And then down here at the bottom, again, another 1972 book. So you're not going to find it slabbed at the low grade. But typically speaking, when I go into eBay browsing this thing, I can see copies selling around the $40, $50 range or so. All right, let's go on now to the third hottest book of the week. And the third hottest book is also a very, very cool one. One of my personal favorites that I really, really need to pick up for my collection. This is Miss Marvel number 18, up 993 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is the first full appearance of Mystique, the very historic X-Men villain, a great character. Of course, Mystique was one of the pivotal characters within the X-Men Fox movies, played by Rebecca Romijn Stamos and later by Jennifer Lawrence. And this is a really, really great book. I mean, definitely a book that I feel like was kind of undervalued in the market for some time. I mean, maybe that's due to the fact that, we had Mystique, there was a lot of hype around her, and then, we're kind of in this weird place where once Disney acquired Fox, it's sort of uncertain what Disney's going to do as far as all the X-Men characters and villains are concerned. So a lot of people thinking, hey, maybe Mystique is not going to be involved in the at least the near future of projects. But Mystique is still a classic villain. She's a great character overall, and this is a great book to own if you're a fan of this character. Not to mention that, but based on what we see in the landscape with Captain Marvel, we know that we want to bring X-Men into the universe. I mean, the MCU has it perfectly set up to follow sort of the Carol Danvers storyline of having Captain Marvel meet a character like Rogue and Mystique, and having Rogue steal her powers, and bringing these two, X-Men female characters into the MCU, and we can follow that plot line, kind of in the future. And I think that would be a really exciting way for the fans to see these characters come in, to have her interact with Carol Danvers in some kind of way. Additionally, the MCU kind of has that problem where Carol Danvers is so powerful that actually I think it would benefit them to essentially nerf her a little bit and reduce her power level. So if they have her meet Rogue, Rogue can take a portion of her powers, and then Captain Marvel can have more drama in her films because essentially she won't be like Superman. But Miss Marvel 18, third hottest book of the week, first full appearance of Mystique, a very cool one. And as we dig into the numbers here, we'll see that there is 9.8 selling fair market value around the $1,800 range. Definitely a book primed to explode past 2K if we, actually get Mystique in the MCU in some kind of way. And then down here at the bottom, of course, another book from 1978. And I forgot to mention, of course, written by Chris Claremont and drawn by Dave Cockrum. But you won't see this book slapped at the bottom. But essentially, when you go onto eBay, this is still a book that actually has been kind of heating up. It's still a great first appearance of Mystique. So I see it selling around the $250 range to $300 range or so. All right, let's go on now to the second hottest book of the week. And the second hottest book of the week is Special Marvel Edition number 15, up 993 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is the first appearance of Shang-Chi. That is right, Shang-Chi. Of course, we know that we're getting Shang-Chi very, very soon here, just a couple weeks away from the movie coming out. A lot of people excited about this character. And, for all the pre-reviews going on right now, people are speaking extremely highly of this film. Now, take that for, what you will. Take it with a grain of salt. A lot of people hype up films. The critics hype it up, because, there's a lot of maybe payola going on. But this is a movie that looks really cool. I'm very, very excited for this thing. And I think Shang-Chi is a character that has a big, bright future in the MCU and also in comic books overall. I mean, Marvel, of course, has been doing a lot of diversity push. They definitely need an Asian superhero to be sort of the figurehead for that side of things. And Shang-Chi seems like a great character that they can kind of elevate and expand upon him. Of course, Shang-Chi came out and he was sort of like the, basically Bruce Lee in comic book version of a character. But it feels like, they're starting to expand the mythos. Maybe, in the MCU, Shang-Chi is going to end up with the 10 rings, and that'll at least elevate his power, which I think would be helpful because, as the MCU continues to do power creep, it's going to be hard for just a guy who is a normal guy who's really good at martial arts to kind of keep up. Like, how is Shang-Chi Shang-Chi ever going to fight Thanos hand to hand? So, definitely something that I think is interesting as they expand upon this character. And this is really interesting to see that this book is actually moving that much in the market compared to, say a couple weeks ago. I mean, you would think that this would be a hot book all these, past couple of months since the trailers have been out. But I guess with the anticipation of, the movie coming out in a couple weeks, we've been bombarded with a slew of trailers. So a lot of movement with this book overall. And honestly, I think this is a great investment book overall because it feels like Shang-Chi, yes, this is, the height of the market. If you're buying now, you're definitely paying a premium. But at the same time, if we're following the Marvel rule of, each character getting 3 movies, I mean, who's to say that we're not going to get a Shang-Chi 2 and a Shang-Chi 3? And, just like all the other books, like let's say you bought Tales of Suspense 39, first appearance of Iron Man back in 2008 when the movie came out, you would have been buying at the height of the market then. But then, here we are years later and that book continues to go up. So if Shang-Chi continues to be a character playing a role in the MCU, I feel like this is a book that is going to continue to grow overall in the market. And as we dig into the numbers here, we'll see that there are 9.8 selling fair market value around the $12,500 range. Last sale back in June of 2021, but you can see all across the board, 2021, 2021, 2021, 2021, a lot of sales going on. Everybody is going after this book. And then of course, down here at the low grade, you won't see it slabbed under like a 2.0 grade, but typically speaking, when I go onto eBay and search for this thing, I mean, at the lowest you will find it is selling around the $350, $400 range or so. All right, let's move on now to the hottest comic of the week. And the hottest comic of the week is actually going to be Ex Machina, #1, up 996 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is the first issue of a Wildstorm comic book back in 2004, written by Brian K. Vaughan. And this would be the first appearance of a character known as Mitchell 100 within context to, of course, this Ex Machina universe and storyline. And we all know that we got, an Oscar Isaac movie, that was called Ex Machina just a few years back. Really, really cool sci-fi indie movie, kind of loosely based on this property right here. And then later on, we are set to get another film adapting this particular storyline. This, of course, was announced by legendary Oscar Isaac, announcing that he was going to be expanding upon the Ex Machina universe and bringing this story here to life. And this is a book that definitely has kind of come out of nowhere in that sense. It's definitely shot up recently. And who knows why specifically, this book has been going up as far as the news cycle is concerned, in these last, couple weeks or so. But, I think maybe with all the excitement of Moon Knight, we're starting to get these leaks of, footage and behind the scenes stuff and costume design and renders of what Moon Knight looks like. Maybe a lot of people are paying attention to sort of the Oscar Isaac movie sphere of news. And, as they go digging through that stuff, looking at Oscar Isaac stuff, they see that, he's working on this Ex Machina project. And then everyone's like, hey, this is in development with Legendary Pictures. Of course, Legendary Pictures does a lot of great stuff like whatever, Godzilla and King Kong. Maybe I should hop on this book right here. And a lot of people decided to hop on this book, making it the hottest comic of the week. And as we dig into the numbers here, we'll see that there are 9.8s selling around the $180 range or so. You can see a lot of sales going on here at the high end, August of 2021, August of 2021. Of course, a lot of people fishing those high-end books because this is a book that came out in 2004. I don't even need to scroll down to the bottom because you know that this is a book that's not going to be slabbed at the low grade. But typically when I go into eBay searching for raw copies of this thing, you can find stuff around the sort of, $35 to $40 range or so. Well, that is all I have for this video. Those are the 5 hottest comics of the week, Go Collect's hottest comics of the week. Let me know what you guys think. It feels really interesting. We've been getting a lot of Bronze Age stuff, over these last couple hottest Go Collect articles for the last couple weeks. So it's really cool to see that the Bronze Age has been, I feel like moving a lot in the market. A lot of people going after those characters like the, the Mystiques and the Spider-Womans and all the horror books and, Shang-Chi, of course, makes a lot of sense. Definitely feels like we're going to be getting that generation of characters, represented on the screen some kind of way. And then, who really knows what those books will do from here. Anyways, drop me a like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I will see you in the next one.